Yeah, that's it. Yes. Sustainable development. We can start. Okay. Great. All of those today. 45. They will take that. 45. All of them combined. Presentation. Okay. She will be presenting for about 45 minutes. You can sit and let her sit there for a while. We're going to start.
Sebab kat sana dia orang cukup.
Okay. And we switch. So so is the video this one?
Boleh je. Dah boleh. Dah masuk. YouTube abang dah share dah YouTube. YouTube.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Dave from culture. So again, I'd like to thank the Ministry of Biodiversity and Sustainable Development, UIDF, working with us in conducting this session now on sustainable development initiatives across cultural experiences between Malaysia and India. And you might be wondering, we are having student mobility program with us. They will be presenting initiatives being done in Kerala, the state of Kerala, here, and India in general. From Malaysia, Dr. Faizal Fatih, Sustainable Biodiversity, IBST, who is also a senior lecturer. So once both teams have presented their views about knowledge, on the green initiatives and sustainable development initiatives, and open this so I'll pass the floor to Dr. Faizal for a presentation on urban biodiversity, nature-based solution for climate adaptation. What do you
Yeah. Alright, good afternoon everyone. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. So with this presentation on urban biodiversity, nature-based solution for climate adaptation. So basically today I try to minimize my presentation, okay? So today we are going to explore on how we can actually integrate the biodiversity and also nature-based solution. How we can actually mitigate the impact of the climate change. It also can promote healthier ecosystem and also livable communities, right? So let's begin with the presentation. We'll start with the introduction first, introduction on the climate change, yeah? All right, so I believe this is not a new thing for everyone because everyone knows about the climate change, but to measure the impact of the climate change, we need a very long period, like more than 10 years, for example. So when we talk about climate change, it is actually the significant changes of the elements of the climate. For example, temperature, rainfall, humidity, sea level, wind, and also greenhouse gases concentration. And we know that the greenhouse gases, we have those greenhouse gases in our particulate matter in the atmosphere. Even though we cannot see them using our naked eyes, but we have all the carbon, methane, nitrous oxide, fluorinated gases, but the gases is actually should be in an optimal. So if let's say the causes of the climate change, for example, the natural factor of human activities increase the greenhouse gases emission, so that is the thing that we need to actually mitigate. So there are two causes of climate change, a natural factor and also human activity. Natural factor is something that we cannot stop. We can predict when it will happen, but we cannot stop the activity. For example, ocean circulation, volcanic activity, solar intensity. But as for human activity, we can control. For example, the forest fire, the impact of forest fire affects the scale of the fire, the burning for the fossil fuel, and also the evacuations of land from agriculture, from natural forest to agriculture and also urbanization. Right, so here is the global greenhouse gases emission, and as you can see, the fossil fuel actually is the largest sources of carbon dioxide, followed by the deforestation and also biomass waste. And I want to highlight on the deforestation because we know that we always say that we need to plant the tree. So when we plant the tree, and then when the tree is getting larger and larger, when there is a big canopy, white canopy, and thick canopy, that is actually the cooling system, or you call it as a naturally cooling environment to the community. But it is not just that. The tree is actually, they can actually sequester carbon. Sequester, it means they can trap the carbon, then they can also store the carbon. So half of the biomass or half of the weight of the tree is actually the content of the carbon. So that's why it is very important to have the green space in our area not just to as a scenery or as an aesthetic value, but it can help to reduce the greenhouse gases emission. So other than that, they can balance the surrounding temperature, they can trap dust and dirt, they can also maintain summer temperature levels for the next 17 years. And different kind of species, okay, they have different ability to absorb the carbon dioxide. So maybe you think that we have many kind of tree species with different size. So the bigger of the trees, basically they can absorb larger carbon, and also they can store higher carbon, higher biomass, and also carbon stock. So for example, here we have saman. Malaysia we call it as hujan-hujan. It's a rain tree actually. The universal local name is a rain tree because they hold their leaf during the season. So the saman can actually store the highest carbon storage every trees per year, 28,448.89, and if 39, sorry. And if you look at the list, we have in the table we have the least storage of the carbon, which is tamarind trees. Tamarind trees in Malaysia we call it pokok asam because they have this sweet tangy fruit. Okay, so that can be used in the cooking. And the Tamarindus indica, the scientific name, they can actually absorb the carbon, but the lowest amount of the carbon per year. But still, it is a tree that can trap the carbon. And it is not necessary to be trees with true branch. If you put any kind of green parts of the ecosystem, bushes, shrub, grassland, and paddy field, they still can absorb the carbon with different absorption capacity. So even the paddy field also, they can absorb the carbon, right? Okay, so here I would like to share my study on diversity of woodside tree species industrial area of Chatlang Selangor. And the reason why I choose the industrial area because the soil, as a physical chemical properties of the soil, industrial area is a little bit compact and less with NPK, nitrogen, phosphate, and also potassium. So it can be considered as a poor nutrient soil. So even though it is a poor nutrient soil, but it still can support biodiversity in that. Okay, so talk about biodiversity. Most important thing, if you want to plant the trees, for example, we are not just looking at the number of species, but also how many trees that is represented by each of the species. That is the most important thing. So when people say high biodiversity, although there is low biodiversity, it is actually contributed by the two parameters, which is richness and also the evenness. Richness is actually the how many species do we plant, and then the evenness is how many trees for each of the species. So the best and the good thing is actually if we have an ideal community, if we have high diversity where there are many species and each of the species is represented by equal number of individuals. Okay, so the study is actually implemented by Selangor State Government to plant urban tree. And actually the urban tree that is originated from Southeast Asia region, and to achieve that they have the Selangor low carbon goals by 2030, and they came out with the LCCF, low carbon city framework. This is actually one of the framework where the state government stipulated all the local authority to use this framework as a reference in their urban policy planning. And also the Armenian agenda under this LCCF, and one of it is actually green environment, okay? And then space management, mobility. So this study has been conducted in section 15 and 16, where both area as industrial area. Okay, so in terms of taxonomic composition, so this is actually the results, yeah. So there are 5,520 trees. You can see section 15 compose more families. Trees also has families, species, and trees. And family with each species is Fabaceae. Okay, so this is actually the list of the species name according to the section. As you can see at the family column, there are lots of Fabaceae family, right? So all the family name usually they Fabaceae, Aminaceae, Fabaceae. So one Fabaceae is the dominant one because the interesting part is because they are from the green family, from the So they have a very good association with the rhizobium bacteria. So the rhizobium bacteria will help to actually collect pockets of nitrogen and help to enrich the soil in that urban area like section 15 and section 16 because it is known as the nutrient ozone area. So it is very good to have this Fabaceae, many trees under Fabaceae family to grow very well and well adapted in that. Okay. So these are the popular trees planted in the roadside section 15 and 16. With the scientific name and so the local name, palm tree, tamarind tree, red sandalwood. Sure, if you are familiar with this kind of tree, yeah, if you have any of them, but I think this is like, especially Samanya Kodoran tree. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so this is 5 popular plants along the side in section. Okay. In terms of species origin and family, there are 34 species captured, and out of 34, 16, which is more than 45%, they are originated from Southeast Asia region. So the remaining, they are exotic. Exotic means they are Australia, Africa, Mexico, China, Japan. Okay, so here are the list of urban tree species planted, the classification, the mature height, and also the origin. So the next slide is actually the from Southeast Asia region, yeah. It's actually London. All right. So now come to the big star of the study, which is diversity and evenness. All right. So there are many richness estimator that we use, that the ecologists usually use, but usually we use the richness estimator that easy to make a comparison. So in this study, it's Shannon, linear diversity index, evenness, and also Magalhaes. Okay. So as for Shannon, linear diversity index, right? The value for both sections is 2.53 that can be considered as the moderate because actually the range of the value, it is not from 0 to 1, but the range is actually we can classify into very low to very high. So for Shannon linear diversity index, for the diversity index for outside plant species in Shah Alam can be considered as a moderate. Okay. And so this is good because even though it's a compact soil, but they still can support many tree species. Okay. Okay. In terms of evenness, this is what I said just now. We're not just looking at the number of species, but we also need to look the representative of individual by each of the species. So as you can see, the value is quite low, 0.37, because the range is from 0 to 1. So if the answer close to 0 like this, so it can be considered as low value because there is one or maybe more than one species predominate the area. So this is actually something that very hard to control because in wayside area they do not grow naturally. So we plant and we plan the plant. We plan what we want to plant. So perhaps in the next future, the planner, the landscape, they can actually systematically put a specific species and so the equal number of individual species. So as you can see, the most popular species, the willow flame tree, red sandalwood, tamarind tree, rain tree, so palm tree, they are all represented by more than 400 stem trees. So they are a lot. And the remaining of the trees, they are represented by less than 70 trees. So there is a big gap between 70 trees and also the highest 1,300. So that's what contributes to the low evenness. So these are among the dominant species. So willow plant tree, okay, saman tree. So this is a unique characteristic because if you plant this tree, actually both sides of the root, they can actually create like an arch. Yeah. This is Pterocarpus indicus for red sandalwood. It's red sandalwood because the wood actually the wood are from the asana tree. They are very attractive. They are red in color and also the fragrance like this. This is palm tree. Okay. I think everyone knows the tree. And this is tamarind tree. Pokok asam in Chile, we call it as pokok asam because they have that sweet and chipang that we use in cooking. Okay, so conclusion for the study before we proceed to the nature-based solution, right? So more than 45% of the trees planted are indigenous. Indigenous, it means they came from the Southeast Asia region. And it's also good because if you look at the LCCM strategy, they actually want to plant many trees and the trees that is originated from the Southeast Asia region. So it is good because they are more suitable to the climate and also they have high susceptible to disease and also less adaptation problem. But nature-based solution, right? So before I show you the example of nature-based solution in Malaysia, this is just to share what is nature-based solution all about. This is actually from IUCN, National Union Conservation of Nature, where IUCN proposed this nature-based solution as an action. It is an action actually to protect, to restore, also to sustainably manage the ecosystem, the ecosystem is untouched ecosystem or the modified ecosystem, to actually address only societal challenge, for example, disaster risk reduction, climate change, or biodiversity, dependence on the community. And eventually, all the effort, they must give benefit to the and also to the living organism, to the plant and animal. And as per name, nature-based solution, it will use all the natural resources and also the nature-based features. So it is like we use whatever that we have in our country or in our area. Okay, so it is in line with our policy in Malaysia. Actually, Malaysia committed to preserve their rich biological diversity, and also the best example that I can share is in Putrajaya Lake and Wetland, where we actually embed this nature-based solution in the urban planning strategy. Yeah. Okay, so this is the map of Putrajaya Lake. It's actually the original habitat of Putrajaya Lake, and the Putrajaya Wetland is a man-made. The established wetland areas. So the established wetland areas is connected with the Putrajaya Lake, where they are at 5 branches. The branches is actually, even though it is green in color, but it is actually the water channel. Okay, so at different branches, they have different number of cells. So they call it as a cell. Then it's actually containing different kind of vegetation, wetland vegetation. So the purpose of having this wetland vegetation is actually to filter the water that they receive from the Chua River before the water enter the Putrajaya Lake. So it filters the lake and also the wetland. It's not just for the plants and animals, but it is also for the community, like for example, recreation, the water sports activity and movement. So that's why it is very important to have a good quality of water in Putrajaya Lake and also Putrajaya Lake. So that's why they established the Putrajaya Lake. They use whatever natural resources that they have to filter the water, and so the water will be in good quality, and so it can be used to plants, animal, and so other than treating river water, there are also other benefits of having this constructed wetland. They can provide habitat, of course, to many kind of fauna, hydrological modification, where they can actually reduce the stream flow, and also they can reduce the water flow speed during heavy rain, and also for recreation. Okay. To show on the Putrajaya wetland plant. This is also Putrajaya wetland plant. So this is not like a plant with 3C2 branch, but still they can actually absorb the carbon. So that's why green ecosystem is very important to absorb carbon and also to reduce the greenhouse gas emission. So these are among the fish species introduced in Putrajaya lake system. Okay, so basically they are a predator to the mosquito, zooplankton, and also they are very good in terms of their ornamental species. Right? And this is the bird species observed in the Putrajaya Lake system and some of the mammal here. And as you can see, the water quality index in Putrajaya Lake for the past 3 years can be considered as a good quality, index, as it is falls in class 1 category. Sports activity and also recreational activity that takes place in Putrajaya Lake and so other than that, it is also habitat to many fauna, phytoplankton, zooplankton, probenthos, fish, bird species, alright. So actually this is a very wide area. So as you walk from one cell to another cell, you will find all this vegetation and so on. Okay. And there are also introduced bird species like grey heron, as burung bangau and burung botak, painted stork. This is in Upper Bisa wetland. The Bisa is one of the branches in the wetland. And then we have Asian openbill. There are also striped heron. So you can learn a very simple food chain if you go to the wetland, okay? From the producer to the consumer. Right? Okay, so in any kind of nature-based, in any nature-based solution, it's important if they are development or established habitat, they must be integrated management that sustain the area or the habitat. So the Putrajaya Lake and Wetland, so they came up with this integrated management where number one, they must actually include the stakeholder management. For example, all the municipal council, universities, research institution, NGO, local authority, and different kind of parties will give different responsibility and contribution towards sustaining the Putrajaya Lake and Wetland. Okay, number two, we should help the maintenance activity. For example, upkeeping and cleaning, maintenance of the structures and facilities. Basically, this will be done by the workers here. Management of plants is necessary and sale. Pruning, trimming, manually weeding, plant pest and disease. Monitoring exercise after they maintain, they need to monitor of the component, for example, because it is a wetland, so it will monitor the physical chemical properties of the water, the biological part of the water, hydrological, groundwater, rainfall and weather monitoring. And number four, this is where basically the research institution or the university can contribute in terms of ecosystem diversity assessment. For example, for my part, usually I will do student to do the biology assessment for the plants group. Okay, so other than that, there are also some other university contributing in terms of the terrestrial fauna, like birds, insects, reptiles, mammals. Okay, and then they will do the management measure. So after that, it is also important to do the zonation. Zonation in terms of the activity because they need to control some of the area. Passive area, active area. And last but not least, for nature-based solution, the benefit must be not only to the living organism, but also to the people. So that's why public participation is very important. So they create the limit wetland, okay, not only for the aesthetic value, but also to welcome activity and also contributions from the community. So for example, awareness program for children, also programs with the university like catch and release fishing competition, photography competition, so biodiversity acquisition. And also sometimes we are having intellectual discourse within the university, NGO, and also other parties. Okay, these are the attendance activity, monitoring exercise. This is ecosystem diversity assessment. This is zonation, yeah. So remember there are 5 branches, so different branches, they have allocate different kind of zonation according to the activity. I think I come to the last part. Okay, so in conclusion, nature-based solution in Putrajaya and wetland has made a significant strides in several SDG. Alright, so number SDG 3, good health and well-being, because they create an urban environment that is conducive to the community. Clean water and sanitation, SDG 6, SDG 9 for industry, innovation and infrastructure, SDG 11, and that is more related to us like SDG 13, 14 and 15. Okay. Not to forget SDG 16 and of course partnership program because it will involve a collaboration from. So I hope that this sharing session in terms of the NPS, nature-based solution, and also biodiversity, what we have in Malaysia, the other party like what country also we can actually share benefit and so maybe we can share the practice as well. So I think okay, so so maybe I ask not to repeat.
Okay, so let's show a very insightful and informative presentation. Dr. Faiza can start one or two questions from the students.
And what was the motivation in selecting this particular work?
She's asking what's the motivation for which work? There's two sections of the presentation. The first one or the
Second one.
the nature-based solution? Okay.
So nature-based solution, it is something that the university or research institution they are looking for. Because it is part of the effort to address any societal challenge, and we have like many societal challenge like the sustainability, climate change, the disaster risk. So nature-based solution, I would say not easy, but we can use whatever resources that we have. Can use whatever resources that we have, and also we preserve the natural resources that we have, and we use the processes of the ecosystem that we have in the.
Was it on your interest or somebody else guided you? But I mean the topic that you presented here.
We don't understand the question.
She ma'am presented a topic. Was it your selection or somebody guided you to do this?
Oh, it's mutual. It's a mutual. It's my interest, and also because I have collaborate a lot with it's actually my old student team generally, so it's easy for us actually to do. So it's a mutual interest.
Okay. I have a question. Lately, I was reading about peatland as a carbon absorbing source. So is having a certain percentage or portion of peatland part of the nature-based solution? Okay. And how much ratio or shall of land?
So the percentage I need to check back, but land also is one of the natural resources that can sequester the carbon. Just that maybe my focus is not to tropical forests and also urban biodiversity, but still any part of any say any green part of the ecosystem, they still can sequester the carbon.
Yeah.
But we need to check back in terms of how much is needed and required. Is it sufficient enough actually to sequester the carbon or the greenhouse gases emission that we have?
Thank you. We move on to the next set of speakers actually. So we'll take a few minutes break. So set up. Thank you again. It's 50 minutes.
But look for kids.
Yeah.
It's not actually benefits a lot. So none of them from the relevant countries.
Generic. Yeah, then got it.
The mobility ran with ITM itself.
It is shallow. Since myself, actually, it became
To part of the movement.
yeah. As yeah, the process of shorting. Many students are influenced the last 2 days the lecture sessions. That's no other independent process. Choice. It's kind of
And that's right.
yeah, it's been few times where for one.
This is to make the MOU active.
Again, you know, in 3 years. It is
This is going to be part of such.
So, what's that? What's that?
They all are under the
About it. Let's say, she- But that you're expecting it.
I think it's fine. I think it's fine. It's going on. Can the experience you can then from me. Madam, income. Down here. Okay. Like just other to other countries also that's not.
Yeah. I think maybe it's peace plan. That's good. It's a lot.
So when we get
Yes.
it's very good. Usually many girls and boys. Maybe engineering for that year. So degree in engineering. Bachelor.
Bachelor of, they call it BTech. So Bachelor of Technology. Like specialization. So,
Major.
so that's what. academies for that for taking engineering analysis.
So it's wayang kulit. So is that part of their society? Mati.
Push them to everything. But I my team, we are to see. Space holding and today is so this person
Okay. 1 week, yeah. Okay lah. You spend more time, woman.
yeah. Because we looked into the budget of the site. They make sure 6 days or so, 6 months.
Maybe if you later talk to the university and if you have any program for initiative, they can connect to you as well. Can be in team. First, what is very active.
Collaboration.
That's shit. You're interested.
Yes. Yeah, information to get tax to maintain their
Only for science.
any year. So the overall tax flow is the same. Sure. Push it. Scroll it to the right. It's live. Yeah, yes, yes. Get the camera.
Good afternoon, my name is Joy Lakshmi, and my group members are Susie, Dustin, Arjun, and Kishore. And we are from Kerala and from St. Thomas College of Engineering and Technology, Chemanur. First of all, we are very thankful to this UITM and also for St. Thomas for this great opportunity about the student exchange program. And today we are here for a small presentation about the community engagement and grassroots initiatives in India. And going to the next slide, mainly the contents includes about the objectives, introductions, history of Ayalkootam, sustainable development in India, waste management, and overall a small conclusion. And the major objectives that here we are focusing is about reducing the plastic use and improve the waste collections about that. And it mainly be done in waste management area. And second one is women's empowerment and community development. It is mainly be done by using the Ayalkootam or Kudumbasri. I know that it is a new name for all of us, but we will discuss it in the later slides. And the third is local problem solving and enhancing the social ties. And this can be maintained by, in India, we have 17 sustainable development goals. And through that goals, we maintain the local problem solving and enhancing the social ties. And about the introductions, here we mainly focusing some of the initiatives like waste management, Kudumbasri, Ayalkootam, and for maintaining a problem solving the local issues that we are facing by promoting the collective actions. And the major aim of this is to improve the quality of life by fostering the economic opportunity and enhancing social bonds and also promoting the environment stewardship. These are the major aims that we are implementing in day-by-day activities also. And here, I know that while I thinking about the Ayalkootam, they are not having the good idea about what it is. But in this slide, we discuss about what is Ayalkootam. In Malayalam, we can say that Ayalkootam, and we can translate it as neighborhood group. And I just simply explain that what is an Ayalkootam. It is just a small group of people that gather together, and it is about 10 to 20 people where sit about and just discussing about what they are doing or what they are going to doing or what they've done. Something like that. It's mainly about the women. They gather together. So it is mainly about a self-help group that is mainly focusing about that. And it plays a critical role in some of the areas that I mentioned here, that for fostering the community development, economic empowerment, and social solidarity. And about the background, it is also in 1990s. And major focus is about the community development and also for the women's empowerment. I also mentioned that the women's empowerment is for the success of women's self-help groups. They are gathered together, they are independent women, and they done further activities and for the implementation of different sectors, like promoting the problems that day by day we are facing. And they find a solution for that. That's it, self-help groups, SSG. And a part of this Ayalkootam, we have a Kudumbasri. It is an institutional support. And we can call that Kudumbasri mission is a Ayalkootam are the fundamental component of this Kudumbasri. It's just similar to that Ayalkootam. The peoples are gathered together, especially the women, and they set the goals that they are planning to be done. And it is established by 1998. The major specialty is that it was established by the government of Kerala. And the major mission is aimed to eradicate the poverty and to promote the inclusive growth of India. And the Alkutam, I already said that it is about 10 to 20 women. It also consists of 10 to 20. We have different panchayat. And each panchayat we have Alkutam, so something for cleaning activities for all over the things in our places. And the major roles is mobilizing the women for economic and social initiatives. And the golden point in this is we just celebrated our Silver Jubilee celebrations, and it was inaugurated by the President Draupadi Murmu, and she declared it as the largest self-help group network. And also releases a book known as the Handbook is Steward, and it mainly the book handbook is about the achievements and the future directions. And also this all the points in that handbook is about the sustainable development goals. And this is for creating an army of economically, socially, and politically and mobilized women. And I also mentioned that it's like an army for creating a powerful woman for the society. And I want to mention about the severe problems that we faced recently. And one is about severe flood. I think that this is about August 15, 2018. We faced a large flood. In that time, this Kudumbasri donated 7 crores to the Chief Minister. And they got these 7 crores from the investments or the profit that got from further activities they had done. So they saved that monies and they donated to the Chief Minister about 7 crores. And they also saved for the victims of the flood. And these are some of the paper cuttings about the Kudumbasri that serve food for the peoples that they're severely affected by this. And also they are done some of the cleaning activities in some of the house where they are affected by the flood, because after the flood the places are very dirty with the mud or something like that. They cannot live in that. So they enter into the public or into the area, and they cleaned everything for the peoples to withstand this problems. And also I want to mention about the COVID-19 pandemic. We all know that how it badly affect our places, every places. So in that area, they sold the 71.55 lakhs of masks to the people, and they done that project within 1 month or 1.5 months. And also they provide Genegia Hotel. It means to say that they're serving food for others freely who are affected the COVID-19. And also they provide free sanitizers, relief buses, SIM cards, all for that. And next one, these 2 points I would like to mention about the 2 girls who want to mention in Kudumbasri, because they are the 2 major women that held this project. That one is Fakirti and another one is Yasmin. In Fakirti, she is from Parakat. Now she done many of the multi-core projects and from a small house or parenting, and she is good at in studies, and but their families will not allow her to do jobs. So while sitting just in a room, she just admitted to form and Kudumbasri of 20 to 30 people, and they started working on different items, and now she has multi-core projects are already done. And about the Yasmin, she is from Malappuram, and it is a Tenla agro producing company, and it is a brand of rices. They started rice cultivations, and now it is a globally interested product. That was it governed. And these are some of the figures about the major specialty of this Kudumbasri is they done their agriculture activities by their own, and they serve these vegetables and fruits to the peoples with limited prices, so everyone can afford it. And these are some of the activities they done, and this figures shows that they're making masks for COVID-19 and give 71.55 lakhs of masks to the peoples. Within 1 or 2 months, they completed the test. And this about our college. We also have National Service Scheme. We have 2 units in our college, and about in the middle figure, it shows that we gathered in the college every weekend and we discuss about the project that we are going to do. And I also mentioned some of the projects here. Is serving food for the persons who are facing poverty, or doing the social services, or auto rickshaw drivers or engaged in day-to-day activities. And I will show a slide that Sasneham or this is the name about this project, and this is Podicho. We call this as Podicho, and it is it only just donating MB, or something like that, or they served food for many of these are all our students in St. Thomas. And also, I mentioned that it's NAPTEC survey. It's just simply about collecting the information from some of the workers, like transportation. That way, many of the people can easily understand the timing of transportations, the numbers of the drivers, everything. So these all are our students who are actively engaged in these activities or collected, and we have already be updating the data by day also. And this I already mentioned that it's only about donating MB. That's all. And this is our recent project. Me and my one of the group member, Christine, we did together the design and implementation of IoT AgriBoard. We mainly designed this for agriculture activity. I also mentioned that in Kudumbasri, they done agriculture works. So by focusing that all things, we implemented this agri robot, and it mainly about our faculty is here, and she guided how to do this project also, and from electronics and communication engineering department. And we recently we completed this project, and about this project, it is simple. It's for watering the plants and fertilizations, and having ultrasonic sensors, and having auto mode, and also having controlled by manually. So I know that you all think that why we implemented this into the Kudumbasri or something like that. In mainly Kudumbasri, they've done grow by cultivations. So for that, every morning they have to water it, they have to fertilize it, they have to check the pH level, about the temperature or about the climate all over. So this project will help them also for if they put it in auto mode, it can water it, it can fertilize it, everything that can be done. So it's very feasible for them also. That's why we implemented this. We also have we made an app called the App Inventor, Smart Agro Robot. So they can we can control it by manually or automatically. And also we have a submersible pump about the level of water in that also. It is about the overall about the project, and we also take a survey about Kudumbasri member. She is a Kudumbasri member, and we just convey our ideas to her. And these are the her drawback cultivations. So we just discussed about the ideas, and after that we get a feedback, a positive. The most success of our project is that we get a positive feedback from her that it is very useful for her, and that's about the overall survey. So next, I handing over to Sudhi for detail about the sustainable goals of India.
Thank you, Gurudeshan. Just we have to look about the sustainable goals of in India. Actually, there is 17 goals, sustainable goals in India, and the 17 goals are developed by the National Institution of Transforming India, IOGA, because NIT IOGA. Actually, we have mainly focused on the 5 goals: non-poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, and gender equality. These 5 goals are we are mainly focused on. The non-poverty mission mainly aims to eradicate the extreme poverty level of the people. We have to give the basic needs of the people, and we have ensured the social protective systems to the people. For that, the government also produces some schemes for that, like Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act and Pradhana Mantri Awas Yojana Act. These schemes will provide the help to the people. Next, we have the focus on zero hunger. The zero hunger means to straight to end the hunger, and mainly to ensure the food security. For that, the government will establish a scheme like scheme like National Food Security Act, which ensures the quality and the quantity of the food that produced by the food product companies. And the next the good health and well-being. Actually mainly ensure the healthy lives and promoting the well-being for the all ages of the people. And the mainly enhancing the healthcare services and reducing the maternal and child mortality and combating diseases. India, the government will provide some Arogya insurance card to the peoples, and they provide free medicines and free healthcare services to the peoples. Everything will be free, and the free service will be provided to people who are below the poverty level. And the next is the quality education. In the quality education, they provide the best education for the students in the all the levels. If the people are below the poverty level or above the poverty level, the government will provide the free education for the students also, primary education, secondary education, their higher education. Even the government will give the free education. Actually, I am the person, the government fully, the government will give the free education for my higher studies. Maybe my primary education, my secondary education, my engineering education, these all my education will be sponsored by the government. Yeah. And the next is the gender equality. In the gender equality in India, there's no different incomes for the genders in same job. And in India, there is a special police force for women, name is Chief Police. Actually, the Chief Police, which is mainly focused to protect the women. And the Chief Police operates 24/7 patrol in the rural and urban areas to protecting the women from the violence. And these are the mainly sustainable goals of India we are focused there. Next. And this is one of the projects done by my colleagues. And this is automated water monitoring and managing system. This project is mainly focused on these one goals. Life below water. Life below water. Actually, we have to see the 14 sustainable goal. Life below water. Our colleagues are mainly focused on that goals. The product is actually to give the aquaculture farmers because the product actually this project you have to mainly focus on the aquaculture farmers. The product will check the water quality, pH level, the temperature sensors, I think for the temperature and the other factors of the cultures, and they give these sensors will be collect the data and they give it directly to the farmers through the mobile app, and the farmers will be make a better assured as at a time, and we have to maintain the culture. Next, I hand over to Dustin. Take forward.
Thank you, Sudhir. So next we will going to discuss about waste management in India. So from the words of you could actually get the idea of what is waste management. So it is basically the collection, transportation, and treatment and disposal of waste materials. So the primary goal of waste management is to reduce the harmful effects that is causing to individual health or to environment and to the aesthetics. So the primary components of waste management is that collection, transportation, treatment and processing, disposal, and regulation and policies. We can assess these components as a step towards assessing waste management. So the primary step is that to collect the waste from where it is generated. So mainly the waste are generated from residential areas, industrial areas, and also there are other sources that produces the waste. So we can collect waste by putting the waste in a garage van, or we can transport the waste to a particular site where all the processing are done. So there comes the second process, which is transportation. It is basically the movement of the collected waste to a processing site where all the processings are done, like recycling and also composting and incinerations, and all of the processes are done there in the processing site. And there comes the treatment and processing. Like I said, after the transportation, it will be put into a processing site where all the treatments are done with the waste to reduce the harmful effects that is going to affect the environment, human health, and the aesthetics. And the final step of waste management is the disposal. So efficient disposal is very important in waste management. So you all know why you would need the disposal, right? So mainly the disposal is used to reduce the volume of the harmful effects that is released by air waste. So mainly in India, we are practicing landfills and incinerations to reduce the volume of waste. Next, so this is a project done by one of our friends, some of our friends studying the waste management. So this is automated waste segregation monitoring system. So what this actually doing is that when we put some waste, so we can categorize this waste as metal, dry, and wet. So when we put some quantity of waste, we don't know what type of waste are we putting, right? So when we put waste in the top of that, the sensor will sense which type of waste are we putting. So you can see the bottom, there is three categories, right? There is dry, wet, and metal. So when the sensor detects if the waste that we put is metal, it will rotate and a knob will be opened for putting the metal waste on there. And then next it will sense if there is any wet waste. Then again the motor will turn on and it will turn to the side where we assigned the wet part. So these are the group that done this project, and with the guidance of Professor Abida. And next is solid waste management. So in the recent decathlon activity that we done in our college, we proposed this idea of solid waste management as our primary aim. So the solid waste management is a systematic control of generation, collection, transport, storage, transport, processing, and disposal of solid waste. The primary goal is to minimize its adverse effect on human health and environment, like in waste management. So just like in waste management, there are also some components that we need to address here. The waste generation and characterization. It means that the solid waste creation. So the creation of the solid waste is from can be from residential, industrial, or from many other sources. So solid waste can be food materials or the plastics. But in India, we have reduced the use of plastics. Now we are using aluminum or any other disposable materials like for to drink anything like lemonade or cola. We are using paper cups instead of plastic glasses. So likewise, and then there comes the collection. Likewise, in the waste management, we are collecting the solid waste according to the type, and mainly we are collecting using the curbside collection, community bins, and drop-off centers. And then the same as the waste management, there is transportation, sorting, and say recycling, which means we need to sort the waste according like food materials or plastics, whatever, and recycling, then treatment and processing. Then there comes the final process, which is disposal. There is this regulation and policy that we mentioned in the component, which is that the legal framework and guidelines that is provided by the government in addressing waste management. So how we handle the waste, there are a set of rules that the government has designed. So we need to address the laws that is provided by the government to reduce the waste. The next is a sanitary waste management. In the first decathlon that we conducted in our college, we primarily focused on sanitary waste management. And one of the friends here, Arjun and Kishore, has done a wonderful project on sanitary waste management, which was to reduce the harmful effect that is probably produced by the diapers, and how we can manage it, and how we can reduce the effects that's produced by incineration of the sanitary waste. So in this, here also, the key aspects of sanitary waste management is that the identification and segregation, then collection and storage, then transportation, then treatment, and also finally disposal. Here, the regulation and policy is saying within the solid waste management. So next, I hand over Jody to take the further session. Thank you.
This is one of our faculty in St. Thomas College, Dr. Vipin Koban, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, STCAT, and she is one of the CEO of Kinson's Tech Solutions and also a CTO of N-Cleaners. And I would like to talk about a small story about how he became the CTO of N-Cleaners. And about that, this is his daughter. And, and during this time, he faced some of the problems that West also discussed about the sanitary waste management. And in real life, he experienced some issues related to that. During this time, he concluded that he faced so many problems like hygiene concerns, environmental impact, lack of proper disposal facilities, cultural and social stigma, and environmental awareness. And he faced these problems, and he entered different companies to find a solutions and different sectors for finding a solution. But he didn't get a positive response from any of the sectors. So he started a online survey, and he found that 70.6% is for open burning, and 20.6% is for dumping, and 7.6% is for flushing. And he got an online survey, and after that, this is some of the newspapers about the severity of sanitary napkins in daily struggles. And after that, he collected many of the sanitary wastes sanitary wastes, and collected, and he further researched about the methods that can be used for the proper disposal of this. And this led to the finally a company called N-Cleaners. It's about the sanitary waste proper disposing or something. And this is about the company. Now he became the CTO of N-Cleaners. And going to this, we discussed about many of the projects that our colleagues and we did. And among that, two of my colleagues and myself, we got recently a first runner-up award of Srishti 2024 for the best electronics and communication engineering project. And this and this is held on the 24 to 27 of February 2024. So this is our latest achievement of electronics and communication engineering department. Okay. Then about our college, it is an eco-friendly college. We can see that our college in front view is a lake view about the college, and it's full of greeneries and non-flowering plants and flowering plants, and about bamboos, everything are there, and it's very eco-friendly. And we can see that we have also, this is a hostel. This is a Lakeview hostel also we have, and I spend most of the times in that hostel because I am a hosteler. So I experience so many beautiful things while raining or something. We can refresh our mind in our hostel also. And this is about the area view of our college. And about this is our bus stay, and it's also having beautiful flowers there. And this about things. And for detail about this, I hand over to Ms. Arjun for detail.
So far we were seeing some green initiatives, and this is one of the best green initiative in Kerala, indeed the world. You'll be seeing solar panels arranged in a large area, and this is all about Cochin International Airport in Kerala, India. This is the world's one and only, or the first solar powered, completely solar powered airport in the world. All power is being provided through solar energy. There is no need of other electrical energy. So we, as Indians, as Keralites, feel proud in saying that it is the world's first and the best airport in terms of clean energy. So see, there you can see a heading CR. CR is actually Cochin International Airport Limited, and it has acres of solar panel established. So far we were discussing specific. Now we are moving to a general structure in the state and the country. And next you can see Harida Karma Sena. Harida Karma Sena, as the name indicates, Harida means green, Karma means action, and Sena means force. So this is Green Force Army. I mean Green Work Army. What they do is they deal with waste management problems. Every month they come to all the houses and they collect the plastic waste. I mean, if you are using plastic waste, we'll collect it in a zip bag. They will come. There is a card for monitoring, and there will be QR code available at the doorstep. Once they come, they scan the QR code, which means that month they have collected the waste from that particular home, and they'll take to a place where they'll shred it and they'll decompose it scientifically. And the positive thing is it adds a source of income to these household women. So it is indeed a matter of women empowerment in our state. Every month, rupees 50, Indian rupees 50, which is very less, it will be charged per house, how much ever the quantity of waste is. So once we use, we'll put it in a dustbin or a zip bag, it should be collected every month. And it will be recorded. So it is a green initiative by the government of India. And you can see they have green uniform, they're pleasant ladies. It is a source of income for them. And now a green corporate building in Cochin. A green corporate building you can see in order to surpass the high temperature. They have planted the trees. It may be common in Malaysia as well. In corporate sector, this is I think you might have heard about V-Guard. So V-Guard. So V-Guard head office. It is in Bernala, Kochi, and it is a green building initiative. So it reduces the heat so that we can minimize the consumption of energy in terms of air conditioner, also the fluorocarbon emissions while using the air conditioning. Okay, now another women empowerment story is Green Army. It is a group of or cluster of women who is into agriculture. So during the season of agriculture, they will travel the entire state and they will plant these saplings and we'll pay for them. So it is another initiative. And the Green Metro. We have a wonderful metro network in the state, Cochin Metro. So I mean the metros and the town is fully having concrete structures. So to give a pleasant look and positive energy, and also some plants, the biological department, botanical department, and the metro has tied up. And in every alternative pillar or selected pillar, they arrange vertical gardens in a way that does not harm the concrete structure. Now we are moving. There are many campuses in the college. I mean, in the state, we'll be dealing with some of the examples how the green initiative is being implemented. So I call my friend Kishore to present the scene.
Okay, thank you, Arjun. So, for briefing about Jyoti Engineering College, it's a bamboo campus. Actually, there are many varieties of bamboos. The idea of that is actually to cool the hot summers. The summers actually there is very hot, and the bamboos cool them. And also it provides pure oxygen, clean oxygen all the time. And the Jyoti Engineering College actually is situated in a hilly area. So to prevent soil erosion,
a major measure is solar energy harvest. The campus is mainly run out of solar. The AC, air conditioning, done. An innovation was made, like the solar energy is not going to a battery. It is directly converted to the AC current, and the AC works in that. There is no need of battery. Also, there are solar electric vehicle charging stations that can be used by faculty as well as students. Water harvesting. There is an artificial pond which is made for collecting rainwater. Hot summers, it is a way for providing water to the campus, and also it replenish the groundwater level. The water testing lab. There is a water testing lab at the college. It supports the local people to bring the water in a cheap way. It is funded by government also. It's a way for knowing the toxic pH level of water in neighboring areas. I will be handing over to Jyoti to conclude the.
So we just discussed about the waste management and some of the women empowerment activities and the sustainable development goals of India. So I would like to conclude this section. And we are mainly focusing about the sustainable development of the society. That's why we implementing these sort of activities. And for collective responsibility of each and every person in the society, and for cleaner and healthier living atmosphere, and creating a favorable environment for the each and every person, maybe a poor person or the financially stable person, and reducing the environmental risk and promising the future for a better future tomorrow. And before I'm very thankful to these UITM and St. Thomas College for this great opportunity. We are again very thankful to all of these to participate in this event. And before concluding, I welcome you all to Kerala. There are lots of things in generally. We have special times. We have Vallangali and many of the traditional activities in our home. In near to my home also, there's a specialty called as Vallangali. It's Armula in Armula, and we celebrated in some days about having different specialty in that place. So I welcome you all to this Kerala. And it's full of greenery. So just explore it. And thank you for your time. And we are winding, and thank you all.
So much, Jyoti and the team. Maybe we have some questions from the floor. Some questions from the floor.
Because basically respond and start responding. Things that the government are ready to adapt on that condition.
Thanks to the severe flood in 2018, August 15, and day by day, due to heavy rains, many of the dams are overflow the waters, and within milliseconds or 15 seconds, it's drastically affecting the whole areas. So everyone, first of all, we all afraid about how to recover from that. Also, something where government of Kerala did so many activities to rescue this. But the major point is that we survived this by helping each other. That we implemented some of the activities, like we put boats or something like that for rescue peoples, and also we rescue peoples by using helicopters. And many of the peoples are half of the building are underwater. So they stay in the upstairs and giving something signals to the person that you are coming in the aeroplane, and we rescued. And also we have some places for them to live. And at that time, we everyone in their home, and some of them are in some sectors, and the schools and many of the office buildings. They give space for people that they can survive. So,
may I add 2 points to your question? Okay, so the 2018 flood, it was declared as the flood of the century. So its devastating effect was that more than 100 people lost their life in the tragic flood. So the one thing is the people of Kerala, they were very much dynamic in response. She told about the airlifting people. So the thing is, everybody can't be airlifted because we are not having so much of helicopters. And buses or cars can't move because they are already flooded. So what happened is the common fishermen in Kerala, they came with the boat and they traveled across Kerala and they lifted all the people who were trapped inside their homes. And they were rescued to another station, which were usually schools, where a large number of people can gather. And there the government set up camps along with the Kudumbashri support. They feed them. And the major role played by engineering students was that the electricity supply was completely lost because it is dangerous during floods. So the engineering colleges were open. The students, the technical staff, they prepare power banks. They prepare power banks in the easiest way using batteries so that at least their phone can be used and provide emergency. I mean, if there is any emergency.
Right. So it's like the education is like the set of so now it's about base risk, like VRM approach by whenever that you face kind of disaster, how do they actually respond themselves? Like the city in China, especially right? So like the big factory we have this, over the recent years. So whatever the solution, we have identified a solution for house that we see. Community itself has to be able to, respond to it naturally. So we do ask for the any like disaster information approach. So it's more like
Now after the flood, we have learned many lessons of practical experience. So what we do, we monitor the climate very systematically now. We predict, we forecast what is going to happen in the next hour or next minute. So if there is a location where landslide may occur or heavy rain, we evacuate people. We shift them to a very safe area. That is one of the things.
Also, we after the severe flood, we also the government of Kerala also some activities that giving an alert to mobile phone. That's why they collected all the data about our peoples, and they have the details, and they can give the alert that there's a possibility of getting. And also release a film in Malayalam industry that 2018. It's a film.
If time available, all must watch that. That shows a real life,
Real of that.
a real tragedy that we face.
Because they're helping people there, even they didn't concern about their life. They lost their life by helping the others also.
That was really inspiring. And one more thing now, before when it's rain, now it's particularly monsoon season in Kerala. So before monsoon, the government, the people, the local government, everybody together, they clear all the drainages, so that water flows easily, properly.
And also they monitor the level of water in the dams also.
so you
And one more thing, the government has formed a rapid rescue team. Those young and energetic people from the state, they are trained in evacuating people and handling them in emergency. What usually happens is in double-story homes, people get into the second floor once water is in the started to increase. But the dangerous thing is once water rises above the second level, they can't move anywhere. So if that is the purpose of evacuating.
Okay. I am interested in the green building there. This one, kind of the government initiative or maybe the people. The building, like, yeah, like
There is a mutual understanding.
Yes.
Like the government in many buildings,
Yes.
government-owned buildings, they are introducing this scheme.
into this game.
Yes.
This scheme was subsidized.
Government-owned buildings,
Okay.
they are doing.
All
The metro buildings, all are government belongings. And in private sectors, corporate buildings, they give tax reduction.
Okay.
They give government give tax reduction to such buildings which follow green protocol, water harvesting,
Yes.
the vertical garden, solar.
Yes, particularly. This one is the kind of hydroponic again.
No, it's just plants. Yes.
And getting water in and something.
They drip irrigation can be given. Hydro.
Oh my. Including maintenance or something.
Yes, yes.
This easy for that one, but I'm really especially.
If you Google, if you search it,
Yes.
it is a building owned by V-Guard in the electronic industry.
Yeah.
It is in Cochin.
This one become so green and so on.
And it gives a positive ambient plastic.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And solar, I don't know how it is here.
Yes.
In Kerala, especially in India, there is huge subsidy for the government give huge subsidy for solar energy.
Okay. Subsidy.
Now many homes they are shifting entirely to solar energy because electricity will be drastically reduced.
Yes, yes.
And other mean the polluting coal, everything can be reduced. Thermal power plant can be reduced. We are focusing more on non-conventional forms of energy like solar and wind.
And for homes, if there is excess solar energy, we
Government will buy it
we can
and will be paid.
can
There is-
have-
No, there is. If I install solar panel in my home, after using in my home, if there is surplus, I can sell it to the government, they will take it. And I will be paid for that.
It is. But when you have like substantial tax.
Yeah.
Over is. So it seems that it.
Yeah.
Yes. Introduction on.
Up to 70% subsidy is given on setting solar panel in our. And in the advantage is India receives sufficient sunlight. I mean,
Yes.
the
Yes.
tropical.
Just very funny.
Is the gender gap. So, yeah.
The gap.
It's mainly focus, many of the activities we are focusing about the empowering the women that are not the dependent women. They want to become independent. I already mentioned two of the women about the Ashwin and Pakirti. They are well in education, so, but they didn't allow the family to go for a job or something. They just gather together and forming a group. Now they are the well-known persons in them. So in many of the village areas, the women are not much they're willing to do, but something that's blocked by themselves. So they have to step out from that. So we implemented so many activities in our country to empower them. So everyone can be on the same level, even in if men or women, everyone in a stable level. That's why we're doing about some activities, especially for the women.
And India was a male-dominant society earlier. To be honest,
Yeah.
but things have changed over time. Now everybody, men and women, together go for work. They together study, and adding to one point, in Kerala there is a scheme like Kerala's ecosystem is now based on startup. So if a woman is the CEO or a chair of a startup, she'll be given extra care, extra subsidy, extra financial assistance. So they promote girls to come forward.
They want to maintain a level. There's no an up or down. They want to maintain the same level for each and every.
And now it is more like a woman dominant society.
They are so talented. That's why they.
More or less they are coming forward. And in elections, equal weightage. I mean, they can stand as a strong candidate in election. 50% of the seats in election is being reserved for women. So we are having women chairpersons in municipalities, corporations, everywhere.
In every area, in this times, every area they are sharing their activities between men and women. In early days, the only men are doing. Now, women are also capable to do whatever they want.
I would like to share a real life experience from my hometown. We have abundance of coconut trees in Kerala. So coconut is part of food. It is part of business in Kerala. Typically, men used to come to climb coconuts, harvest coconut. And there was a recent innovation, which machine, which helped us to climb the coconut tree. Now training is given to women for climbing the coconut. I mean, almost 30 feet high. A lady comes to my home. She climbs the coconut tree. She harvests the ripened, matured coconut. And per coconut, we give 70 rupees per tree. A day she may climb 10 to 20 trees. So her income is rupees 2,000 Indian rupees per day, which a common worker won't get. That is all about women.
Besides that, the machines are also developing. For in the same manner, we developed many of the machines, and everyone can operate it to plug the coconut or something like that.
And if women, when they're carrying, I mean, when they get pregnant, the government will take care of them. They will pay her. They'll pay her money to meet her expenses. Then the social justice ministry, they will provide her with nutritious food. Every month they will give pulses, a protein until post-delivery. These are practices that the present government is taking care of.
This one only in Kerala or maybe the other.
No, this one is about Kerala.
All of you are in Kerala.
So that is what we said. The title God's Own Country
Very good, very good.
is promoted by the tourism department in Kerala.
So we are welcoming
Already.
This guy is from Kuala Lumpur.
Yes, it's 4 hours flight. And it is not that expensive too. Indian rupees 6,000.
6,000.
70 ringgit. 70 ringgit for flight. 70 ringgit.
No,
700.
So from the flight ticket from KL to Kerala, it depends. It can be as low as 750. It can be as high as
750.
like without ticket luggage. On average,
But It will be much cheaper. Because now, for example, tea tariff here is 2.5 to 3 ringgit. From that, for that amount, you can have 3 or 4 cup of tea here.
Wow.
1 ringgit in India is actually 80 rupees.
Actually, for 10 cent, and for example, for 10 cent, you can have a cup of
10 rupee.
10 cent. Yeah.
What I said here?
No,
20,
please tell me in rupees first.
80
Ah.
rupees. 1 ringgit is 80.
No, no.
Tea,
The price of a tea,
10 rupees.
10 Indian rupees.
10 rupees, right? It's about 70 cents.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can have festival.
Yeah.
he does festival a lot.
No, festival and seminar and something.
There's
Go one.
whenever you come, especially in which season you come,
Yeah.
there will be something unique in that time.
Almost.
Always.
Every teacher having something.
The people of Kerala, they are always in celebration.
All the time.
When you come during April, we have Vishu. Vishu.
What's that?
It's the Malayalam name is Vishu. There is
Kind of a new year.
and in August time you can have Onam. You might have we used to have Onam carpet.
It's the festival. Gawai.
Trishul Puram. It is the largest gathering in the world, it seems.
Yeah.
Largest gathering.
Elephant.
Shall we show a picture? A picture in about Trishul Puram.
Sure, sure.
Are you busy, man?
No, no, it's okay.
Yeah.
We two are in
Yeah. So, understand, right? First of all,
They are already in the final semester.
why does this?
It's already. Falling.
What is it? After this, they will.
Yes, all of them got their jobs already.
Already.
Their employment rate, is 99%.
I recently completed the BTech and now I do the Java.
I show.
Oh, so many people.
Let's see it.
That's everything.
First one,